Hey there. Okay, it is Saturday, and I thought I would invite a friend to join me here so we could have a little chat about some good things that are going on in Europe. And I'm sorry, I've got that chicken feather sticking out of my neck here. So, oh, good. Okay, well, there's Christoph now. So we're going to talk to him about Poland. So here we go. Hang on. All right, he should be popping up here any minute. We're going to have a little private, there we go. Oh, you're sideways.
Oh, okay, wait a second.
Ah, that's
Okay.
better. There you are. Now you're not sideways.
I could tell the same to you that you were like this.
Oh, did I look sideways? Okay. Well,
For
okay,
me,
but
yes.
now am I appearing correct side now? Are you seeing
Uh,
me the way, right? Okay, good, good.
Very good.
Excellent. Excellent. So, well, awesome. I'm so glad to see you. And you are in Krakow right now, which is where you live, correct?
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
Christopher living in Krakow in Poland always and 15 years doing these tours, and I'm in the very special place, Robin,
Yes.
because behind me you can see many more faces. All these people were rescued by Schindler. I'm just by the Schindler's factory. Normally,
Yeah.
when you connect with Krakow, usually you see the spectacular main square, the old town, sometimes castle, sometimes Jewish quarter. But I wanted to take you today to a little special place, but very well known because of the Schindler's List,
Yes.
but a bit aside of Krakow, but very important, of course. So here we
Yes.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's so amazing. I mean, that story about the number of people he saved and how he did it is just incredible. And looking at all those photos on the wall behind you, it's so like so emotional.
Yes, here are over 100 faces behind me. He rescued over 1,000 people, but of course, not everybody could fit here. And this black gate behind me is the main gate, original, leading to the factory which is behind. Today, this factory is the museum of Krakow under occupation. So there are different aspects of war presented in this building, from the beginning of the war throughout what was happening here, rescuing Jews, to the end of the war, the ghetto, the camp part. Here is the building. I want to show you a bit
Wow.
of it. Behind,
Yeah.
it's an original building. It was renovated about 15 years ago by us, and this is the main entry there to the museum. Now it's after 8 p.m., so it's closed, but generally everything is reopened.
Yeah.
So
So
this museum as well.
that was the next thing I was going to ask you. So everything's reopening in Poland now, so you can start to go back
Yes,
into the museums and the places and the churches and all of those things that you'd want to see when you come, right?
exactly. Luckily, from May, gradually we reopen everything. First of all, for European Union, but just now for you as well. So you are all most welcome, whoever listen to this now or later. And it would be beautiful to meet you in person. As I said,
Oh,
we do
yeah.
it we do it 15 years all around Krakow, all around Poland, even Central Europe. All hotels opened, restaurants, museums, and if you are fully vaccinated or if you do the tour, the test, sorry, then no quarantine for you, for
Oh,
Canadians, for Americans, for Japanese, for Israelis, for all the world now.
oh, wow. So you don't have to be vaccinated if you have to have a test though, but you don't have
No,
to be
no.
vaccinated.
You have to, if you are vaccinated or if you have tests, then no quarantine for you.
Got it.
But you can come even without it, but then you will have to spend 10 days in the nice hotel, first of all, and then travel.
Yeah. So if you're not vaccinated, you have to spend the 10 days in quarantine first. If you're vaccinated, all you have to
Yeah,
do is have the test,
yeah.
and then you're free to go when you get there as long as your test is negative.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. This
Okay.
is
I
how
get
it
it.
is.
I see. Yeah. So, okay. So remind me again, what did Schindler make in his factory? What was the factory? What did they manufacture?
Yeah. Let me maybe show you. Wait a second. Oh, look at this area. I will tell you a few stories.
Okay.
This was the industrial area. Not, we are like 2 kilometers from the old town, 1.5 mile in American standard, from the old town. So from the very center, 1,000 years old part of Krakow. And here there was already from 1800s kind of industrial area.
Uh-huh.
So before war, there were different factories here, and one of the factories was this building that I'm showing you now. It was enamel factory. They were producing enamel, the pottery, let's say. Eh?
Oh,
For
okay.
example, for example, here on the other side, there was a glass factory. These
I
buildings are
see.
still producing beautiful artistic glass
Oh,
nowadays, but
nice.
it is older. So different factories. And during the World War II, of course, Germans, Nazis, they occupied everything,
Yeah.
including different factories, including this factory. And from the beginning, Schindler became kind of the Nazi party member, of course, and the manager of this factory. So
Mhm.
inside this building and behind in different production halls, what I'm showing you now there at the back behind the gate,
Yeah.
there they were producing, first of all, steel enamel for
Uh,
Germans. The
I
Jews
see.
became the Jews became slaves here, the
Yeah.
free forced labor, like everywhere in the camps, like
Mm-hmm.
everywhere in the ghettos. But from 1943, most probably, we don't know it for sure, but most probably from 43, Schindler, something broke in his heart, in his mind, and he started to think about helping Jews, about helping his workers.
Yeah.
So here in this building, behind exactly, he created kind of barracks, and some of the workers could have better conditions here. And he negotiated with other Nazi party members to keep the Jews here. And
Oh,
finally, in the end of the war, he managed to move the workers of this factory to the other safe place so they could survive. Finally, over 1,100 people survived that he rescued, let's say, and this is these 100 faces
all the pictures.
out of
Yeah.
1,000. Of course,
Wow.
luckily, he was not the only hero of the World War II. There were over 20,000 heroes like him in Europe, and Poland, luckily, is number one country in
Wow.
all Europe. We had 7,000 heroes like Schindler. For example, in Warsaw, we had a woman, very brave woman, Irena Sendler, and she rescued over 2,000 mainly Jewish children, risking
Wow.
her life every day in the ghetto, taking them out from the ghetto,
Wow.
etc.
Christopher, hang on one second. We have some new people that have joined, and I just want to tell them what's going on. So,
Yes.
for the folks who've joined us just recently, this is my friend Christopher Skutela, and he is in Krakow, Poland, and he is telling us and showing us all about Oskar Schindler's factory there and giving us the update on Poland and going to visit there. And so it's really, really interesting. And Christopher is a super smart guy. He's written some books and he's a PhD. And so he's got all this knowledge, all this, I mean, all these things you remember is just incredible. And so what else could we see in Krakow? If we were to come to Krakow, what else could we see besides this?
Thank you, Robin, and hello, everybody. Yes, we could see many things. You need to come here at least for 1 week. Usually people come here for 2, 3 days, but then regret going out. And I'm not telling you this because I live here, because I do this 15 years, but this is just a fact. The city is very special, very spectacular, because, first of all, one day you can spend just for exploring and touring the Old Town, which is one of the biggest old towns in Europe. one of the most best preserved old towns in Europe, 1,000 years old, with the biggest medieval square. So this is like one day at least. Then you have the castle and different exhibitions, museums, which is also very big, very spectacular. This is another day. Then the third day you can devote to this topic where I'm standing now. So the Schindler's Factory, the Jewish Quarter, the ghetto area, which is not far from here. And for example, the Auschwitz-Birkenau tour. But Auschwitz can be another full day because it's, of course, very important. It's 1 hour drive from here. You need to go there. You need to really dwell into this topic. And then, very close to Krakow, we have many world-class attractions of, let's say, easier style. First of all, we have the salt mines, one of the oldest salt mines in Europe. Super pretty. Super charming, underground world. And then we also have just 1 hour 45 minutes drive from here. We have the Zakopane Mountains.
Oh, that is supposed to be so beautiful. I told you, I think, I have a friend who grew up in Poland, and he has been back, once he could return. So he actually defected when he was like 18 years old. He actually defected. He was part of a singing group. He was in a choir, and the choir went one time, I think, to Italy, and he defected while he was in Italy, and then lived in a refugee camp in Italy for a little while before he came to the United States. Married in the United States, and he and his wife have a son the same age as my oldest son, and now. Since he's been able to come back to see his family and everything, he told me how beautiful the Zakopane Mountains are. That area, he said it's just absolutely gorgeous.
It touches everybody's heart, I can tell you. It's one of the most underestimated attractions of Poland and Central Europe, because the Tatra Mountains, which are on the border of Poland and Slovakia there, they are the highest in all Central Europe. You don't have higher mountains. To give you imagination, they look exactly like your Rocky Mountains. They are a bit smaller, but they look the same. Rocky peaks, snow, even for 9 months in the year sometimes on the peaks. And the beautiful little city of Zakopane under, which is not just city under the mountains for skiing, but it's the city with the big culture and history always. So there are many galleries of art. There is many hotels, spas, beautiful restaurants, wooden architecture, everything you need to see, to relax, to get to know, cultural tours, nature tours, whatever.
Well, so I couldn't believe, because you've posted some pictures sometimes, and I just can't wait to get to Poland myself. And we have come to know each other because I've been working with some clients that are coming, which is very exciting. But like, I had no idea, you talking about nature and stuff, that there were bison. You posted a picture of bison and like storks. I had no idea that there were more storks in Poland than anywhere else in the world. So it was really interesting.
Oh yes, luckily we have 25 national parks, which is 10% of all Europe. So it's kind of majority, a lot of parks, more than normally. And all of these parks have something special. The one that I just mentioned in Zakopane, the Tatras, they have, for example, bears. They have chamois, bears, yes. There are chamois, so the mountain goats.
Yes.
Marmots, for example, and a lot of spectacular plants, flowers, etc. But the bisons that you mentioned, they are in another national park of the very old forest, which is in the east. It's on the border with Belarus.
Okay.
And it's a great place. And indeed, European bisons, the highest number in the world, is here in Poland, and the same with the storks. The storks are everywhere. Even in Krakow, you can see storks sometimes. Now, until the end of, beginning of May, more or less, until the end of September, August, sometimes beginning of September, they are here in Poland, and then they fly to Africa. So the biggest number of them, giving birth to the new little
Yeah.
child storks,
Yeah. Yeah.
not people. They are here in Poland. They are here in Poland.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, gosh, this has been great. Thank you so much for doing this. And yeah, let's do this another time when you're in Old Town or something. That would be
Sure,
fun.
sure,
We can see some other places. So until I can get there in person, you can show me the things through the Instagram.
sure, Robin. In the old town, let's do it another time, and you will see really spectacular square. Whoever didn't see it yet, you will be impressed. But if you come here in person, you will be impressed even much, much more. Believe me, and I am happy to meet you all. Fantastic dinner we will have at the main square, and we'll visit also this important place, Schindler's Factory, and many, many more.
Great. Well, that sounds good. And yeah, I can't wait to be there and taste the food and the beer. I can't wait to try the Polish beer
Oh
too.
yes,
So,
sure. We have beer, we
okay.
have vodka,
Yeah.
we have even wine, which is not so well known. And of course, it's not the best in the world, but it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'll stick with the beer and the vodka. That sounds good.
Sure.
Okay. Christopher, thank you so much. You have a good evening and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you very much,
Okay. All
Robin,
right.
for this
Okay.
invitation. Bye bye, all of you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.